If you really want to be fluent in English, subscribe us. Hello, my name is Alex. I am here to share a journey. A journey that many people have when they start learning to talk in English. It is not an easy journey, but it is a beautiful one. I remember the first time I tried to speak in English. My hands were shaking, my heart was beating fast, and I could not find the right words. I wanted to give up, but I didn't. There were days when I felt like crying because I thought I would never learn, but I kept going. And today I want to share my story with you, hoping it will help you too. One thing I learned is that everyone makes mistakes. It is okay to make mistakes. It is part of learning. I remember one time I said something wrong and everyone laughed at me. I felt so embarrassed. But then I realized they were not laughing to hurt me. They were laughing because I was trying, and that was a good thing. There was another time when I met a man who was trying to speak in English. He was older than me and had a lot of trouble with the words. But he kept trying, even though people didn't understand him. I was inspired by his courage. He never gave up. I learned that to speak English, you need patience. Just like a baby learning to walk, we need time to learn. A baby doesn't walk on the first try. It falls many times, but it always gets up again, and so should we. I also remember a friend of mine who came from a small village. She didn't know a single word in English when she moved to the city. People made fun of her because of her broken English. She cried many nights. But she didn't stop practicing. Today she speaks so well that no one can believe she once struggled. Sometimes the hardest part of learning is believing in yourself. There was a time when I felt like I could never learn English. I thought it was impossible. But then I met someone who told me the word impossible itself says I'm possible. That changed my life. Speaking English is not about being perfect. It's about communicating. I learned that it's okay if you don't know the big words. The important thing is that people understand what you are trying to say. Even if you speak slowly or make mistakes, as long as you are clear, that is all that matters. I once read a story about a boy who wanted to learn English. His family was poor, and they could not afford a tutor. But he didn't let that stop him. He would listen to English songs, watch English movies, and talk to himself in English. Slowly he became better. Every day he practiced a little more, and every day he became a little better. Today he is a successful businessman, traveling the world and speaking English with confidence. His story shows that it's not about how fast you learn, but about never giving up. Another tip I want to share is to practice speaking as much as you can. Talk to yourself in the mirror or talk to your friends. The more you speak, the more confident you will become. I used to be afraid of speaking English, but now I love it. It reminds me of a time when I was in school. There was a girl who could not speak English at all. People would laugh at her and call her names. But she didn't stop. Every day she would practice. She would read English books and try to have small conversations. Over time, her English improved, and the same people who laughed at her started asking her for help. Her story always reminds me that no matter how hard things seem, we can always improve if we keep trying. Sometimes the biggest challenge is in our own minds. We think we can't do it, but the truth is, we can. One thing that really helped me was surrounding myself with people who spoke English. At first I was shy and scared. I didn't want to make mistakes. But the more I listened, the more I learned, and slowly I started speaking too. There is a quote that says, "Practice makes perfect," and it is true. The more you practice, the better you will become. Even if you can only say a few words now, that is okay. Keep practicing and soon you will be able to say more. I once knew a man who had a speech problem. He could not speak clearly, even in his own language. People thought he could never learn English, but he didn't let that stop him. He would spend hours every day practicing. He would speak slowly, trying to get each word right. And now he speaks English fluently. His story taught me that no matter what challenges we face, we can overcome them with hard work and dedication. It might take time, but it is always possible. Sometimes, learning a new language can feel like climbing a mountain. The journey is long and the path is difficult. But with each step, you get closer to the top. And when you finally reach the top, the view is beautiful. So, if you are struggling to learn English, don't give up. Keep going. Keep practicing. One day, you will look back and see how far you have come. And remember, you are not alone. Many people have faced the same challenges. Many people have felt the same fear and frustration, but they made it, and so will you. I will continue sharing more stories and tips with you. This journey is not over yet.